Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now. What's up YouTube, Capital G here talking about the Vanity's Emptiness reprint in this video, what it means, and what are the chances of this card actually getting limited and or banned at the end of this format now. So before we get into our topic, let me just keep it 100,000% with you guys. I was completely wrong about my take on Vanity's Emptiness being in the Legendary Collection 5Ds. I still don't think that it makes complete sense from the best of a 5Ds era perspective, but from a cash grab perspective, it makes perfect sense. Cashing on the card now, I mean, it's one of the hottest cards in the game, so why not make a bunch of profit from it? Now, I was watching a Design of Enigma video a few days ago, and he actually made some really good points about the reprint that I agreed with. He was saying that basically he expected the card to get a rarity bump if it is in the 5Ds collection. Of course, we know now that it is. And that if there wouldn't be a point of reprinting it in the same common rarity, because obviously if you're trying to attract a lot of newer players to the card, you're going to want to give them some incentive to go try and reach out for that card by packs and yada yada yada. But I don't really think that the common price would drop, because if you're going to have this card in a higher rarity, then obviously a bunch of rarity whores, myself included, I make no apologies for being a rarity whore, would probably want the higher rarity. So, I mean, if we want the higher rarity, that means we're probably going to pay more for it. I mean, I don't think that this is a situation like 101 or Draco Sack where the rarity is the same. So essentially you're just getting more copies of the same card in circulation. Vanity, so far, I would say, I mean, a lot of people are speculating that it's a secret rare. You can kind of see the silver bordering in the text, so it could be a rare or a secret. I think that if it's a secret rare, I would say that we should expect it to cost about $7 to $8 more than the common version. That makes it a minimum of $30. So it doesn't quite solve the whole, oh, Vanity's Emptiness is going to be a dirt cheap card right now. If you're expecting like to be able to get Vanities for like $5, $6, I really don't see that happening, and mainly that's only because the price of the common right now is the cheapest that it's been at in pretty much like 6 months, and that's just because the announcement of the reprints. I think the people have pretty much all put their Vanities on eBay and TCG Player, so the market is kind of flooded right now. So if you're looking to get Vanities cheap, I mean, they're like $22, $23 right now. That's the cheapest they've been in a long time. But here's the question that I've been wondering. Outside of the card being an obvious cash grab, could this be Konami's justification for banning or limiting Vanity's Emptiness? And I mean, basically, you put a bunch of copies into circulation. You give all the players who didn't have access to the card, who didn't have the money to buy it, or obviously didn't have access to find, you know, Star Strike Blast. You give them access to 3 copies, you let them play it for the format, and then basically you say, okay, there you go, you had your fun. We're just going to kill off the card, kind of like what happened with 6 Cents. I mean, that was a card that was released and it was already banned. You clearly saw the power of the card. It had no business ever being legal, and yet they left it legal for pretty much one format. And I mean, didn't everybody, when they were talking about the ban list and speculating, pretty much everybody had Vanities hit on the ban list from some way, whether it was banned, limited, and I mean, Konami, obviously, from a business perspective, you might as well cash in on the card before you hit it. Obviously, give players some type of incentive to go buy the card in which they can still use it in the format, and it's still going to be good. But if you look at the game and you just look at all the future archetypes that we're getting, Knee-Claws and Quillports, and I mean, just the pendulum mechanic as a whole, Vanity's Emptiness just shits on all of it, everything. And so I don't really see this card staying in the game at 3 too much longer, because everything that Konami is releasing, this card absolutely shuts down. I mean, it doesn't matter if your deck is built around rituals, fusion summoning, as like the Spirit Beast Tamers and Shadows are, you know, whether it's pendulum based. I mean, Vanity's Emptiness, your opponent flips it over and it's basically GG's. But I want to understand everybody else's kind of takes on this topic. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always. Subscribing makes life happy.